Chinaman.
Damn Jews.
Lousy wops.
Nigger.
Hike.
Honky.
Dago.
Boogie.
Bick.
Gringo.
Cracker.
Coon.
Pig.
Damn nigger.
Mick.
Polak.
Racist.
We got a lot of people at each other's throats. There's no doubt about it. As a nation now, don't give me any of this bull about a melting pot. We're not very crazy about each other. I mean, that's the way it is, and that's the way it's always been.
Bonehead.
Toad.
There have been a few inventions since then. One is the committee.
Now, this committee is empowered only to detail symptoms, not to effect a cure.
That might be, but we need action.
Mr. Parker, a neighborhood playground for children is a most admirable goal.
What I want to know, and what all my brothers and sisters want to know, and what the whole world wants to know, what are you doing here that's different from what those other committees ever did? This whole building is filled with papacy. Is there anybody around now, or 100 years from now, ever going to read it? You see, I know you're playing a game. And I know, you know, I know you're playing a game. So I say, let's call it. Because we have done this now.
Where do we go from here?
Sir, what's your viewpoint on this walkout?
My view? Well, I'll tell you. This whole committee thing is kaput. There's more information been documented on the black men than on any living soul in the history of the world. And nobody knows what to do with it. The whole thing's moved out of the forum and back into the individual. That's it, you know. The individual. That's the only hope that's left.
Thank you, sir.
What the games people play now, every night and every day now, never meaning what to say.
Hi, Charlie. Hi, neighbor. Hey, lots of luck with that interview. Sounds like a good job. Let me know how you make out, okay?
You'll be the first to know.
Interviews. A few short minutes, a lot they can tell. How do you measure a man anyway? Now, I got no beef with any man that wants to get his. There's nothing wrong with competition, but that doesn't mean I'm going to let anyone buck the line. I've been at this 12 years. I had to wait my turn. Anyone wants to go through what I went through, take what I took, I don't care who he is, I'll be glad to shake his hand. Nothing wrong with that kind of equality. But you try to get me to lose my turn, or nail me on guilt, or tell me 12 years on the line is equal to a black face with no experience, then you've lost me.
I mean, he's got a point, you know what I mean? And he's no, what do you call, villain. The man's scared. Well, we've been through all that. It's not no new thing. You see, the white guy says color means nothing to him. He just hates anyone who hasn't had a harder time climbing the ladder as he has. Then the black guy says he deserves a break because of what's been going on. So the white guy says all you need today to move ahead is a black face. You know what I mean? Oh, then the black guy says there's plenty of jobs at the end of a broom. It all goes back and forth, and you still got the same thing. The underdog wants a piece of the action. You don't have to be no genius to figure that out. That's what all the hollering's about.
How many ways does he have as a man who wants fairness for himself and who is in a position to do something about it for others? How many ways does he have to dispense equality of opportunity? Or, more honestly, how many ways can he do just the reverse?
Equal opportunity, the tremendous pressures. How well I remember.
Out of the whole population employed here, we've come up with 7 Chicanos. That's less than 1 man per 1,000. Now, nobody's going to tell me that out of this whole population, that's all there is. And by God, I want you to take care of it, personally.
I don't think anybody's stopping.
Well, I haven't seen anybody working up a sweat over it either.
What does that mean?
How many of you got in your branch?
People walking up to you, singing glory, hallelujah, and they try to sock it to you in the name of the Lord. They're gonna teach you how to meditate, read your horoscope, cheat your fate, and furthermore, to hell with hate. Come on, get on board. Oh, la-da-da-da-da-da, la-da-da-da-da-da. Talking about you and me, the game we were playing. Now wait a minute, look around, tell me what you see. What's happening to you and me? God grant me the serenity to just remember who I am. Oh, cause you're giving up your sanity for your pride and your vanity. Turn your back on humanity. Oh, and you don't give a
Sorry to hold you up.
Oh, that's all right.
Sit down, sit down. Oh, boy. Someday I'm gonna get the hell out of this business and run a chicken farm.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell me why you want the job.
Well,
Hello. Oh, my God, what are you doing in town? Oh, yeah? The trouble with you people is you got nothing to do. No, admit it. Nobody knows you're there. Once a week, somebody crawls out of a drain pipe and ducks across the plaza and picks up the checks. Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah. At 4 o'clock and he decides to go into labor. Yeah, he wants to know why it took 6 days for a memo to get from the 1st to the 2nd floor. Well, he never got the word, so they had the inspection and he got caught with his pants down. Oh, all right, stranger. You're right if you get work. Okay, go ahead.
well, I'd like very much to have that job. I would like to improve. It's a good job, I heard, and well, I don't know what else.
Well, we abide by the rules of equal opportunity employment. Our policy is that every man, no matter what, gets a shot. Okay, you're going to get a shot. The job is yours.
Hey, you never make the deadline, amigo.
What to say now, never saying what they mean. While they
You're damned if you do hire him and damned if you don't.
Now, that's the oldest game around. You don't want a man you welcome him with open arms and then kick him out the back door.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Arms wide. That's the thing, see? Makes you look sharp, too. Then you give him something he can't do. Get him out there on that tightrope. That's the jab. Now, when he falls off, you put on that real innocent look. You know, pure virtue from ear to ear. Like, baby, you can't help it if a man decides to fall on his face.
But, honey, he was under pressure to hire that man.
Sure. He felt boxed in, cornered, forced to do it. That's why he was going to give it everything he's got, huh? No. What we have to ask ourselves is, would he have handled it the same way if the man was white, huh? Would he have played with him the same way?
I say he wouldn't. I say he would have taken that white brother around the shoulder and eased him into something that he could do. I mean, you can make yourself look like you're for equal opportunity. You can make yourself act like you planned it all clean and still stick your thumb in the other fella's eye. And the thing is, we all know what he's doing. I mean, the secret's out, you know?
Hey, just a minute. You're coming down awfully hard. You know, somebody ought to find out what he thinks about it.
I'm Simon Legree, Jack the Ripper, and Machiavelli all rolled into one.
Now, there he goes, bringing virtue in backwards. Well, I say he's no little orphan Annie either. He's where we are now. Those who have made it don't want anybody else horning in.
That's it, baby. He just has to keep everybody in their place. You dig? It's a blind reflex. Man, woo, if he could go on back and see some of his own footwork from the outside looking in.
It got to be a rather intricate dispute. On the one hand, you had labor, not really holding on to anything. They were just about to lose face. And on the other hand, you had management. They had their heels dug in. They didn't want to set a precedent, something that could hurt them maybe a few years later.
Precedent?
So I sort of got into it, and we got a little perspective going.
Oh, hi, Chief. Oh, we're just having a little talk. His name is Fred. So, you've been in labor relations as well?
Oh, well, not as a lawyer.
No, but it was a very responsible position.
I sort of fell into it.
Terrific.
I'm sorry?
I said it was terrific. What made you move here?
I was accepted to teach over at Fairfax. Then that bond issue went down, and the school budget went down with it.
Teach, too? Well, that's very impressive. I think we'll be able to put something together. Great opportunity right here.
Oh, what is it?
Well, sort of the best way to describe it is information coordinator.
Information coordinator?
It's terrific.
Man climbing the pole for the phone company's an information coordinator.
Oh, no, not that. Nothing like that.
Well, what is it?
Well, this would involve organizing and assembling all the correspondence that comes into that area, and then managing its containment.
Managing their containment? You mean filing it, don't you? Making sure that C comes after B and before D?
It has a lot of vertical mobility.
I'm sure of that. Mostly up and down a ladder. Information coordinator spelled backwards is file clerk. You know, when I was in the Army, there was always one guy who never got the word.
Woo! Did you dig that footwork? Did you dig it, baby? Woo! Boss caught him in the act, and he was ready to take it all back and slough it off like he was talking about football or something.
See, what was going on here is this game of requiring the black man to be the bonus baby. He's got to be twice the man anybody else is. And then when he does get in, he's got to do time to prove he's a white nigger before they'll let him go on.
Hold on, hold on. The black man, the brown man, the yellow man, and the red, they're not about to do any more time for the white man. So what's going on in that white supervisor's head, huh? Does he do what he thinks? What he thinks he thinks? Or does he do what somebody else tells him to think, huh?
I say he's dependent on what the man who holds the key to his future thinks. He's influenced by his friends in the carpool. He's mindful of what his upstanding neighbors think and what everybody else he hangs out with thinks. So he's got to go along. I mean, if that were you, wouldn't you do that?
Every man's got pressure on him. Things are expected of you. No one says anything, but you know what the party line is. It's like a shadow pressing on your back. And so you go on and make assumptions of what you think is expected. Now, this didn't happen to me, but one of the worst moments of mistaken assumption I ever heard about was between two men. One of them figured they shared a common bond.
He said you were closing down and leaving a #1 secretary with no place to go.
And one deserving colonel.
Yeah, we've got one here. Only no one's sure what he deserves. So what about the girl?
You wouldn't want her.
No? Why not?
I don't think she'd work out.
Rotten personality.
Take my word. Do yourself a favor.
Does she know how to type?
Oh, yeah, she can type.
Take dictation?
Yeah.
I bet she's got a mustache.
No.
Well, all right, what's her problem?
Well, just between you and me, she's black.
Well, that's fine. So am I. We'll probably get along just great.
You say to yourself, that kind of thing has to stop. You gotta open the doors. So you take that tack. You become a champion for equality. Or you think you do.
Speak to him about this. Oh, come on, Harry. He hasn't been on time since he got here. He comes in, boxes 5 or 6 rounds, shoots crap, smokes a cigar, and expects to go home. You gotta give him a little headroom, Harry. Not at the expense of my section. Hey, you gotta give him a little leeway, kid.
You just gotta face the idea that he's not white.
Now, he's got it all set up so he can be virtuous as hell, and at the same time keep those old definitions the way they were. Man, you can't expect that poor, scruffy nigger we coaxed out of the woodpile to act as smart as us. You gotta bend over backwards. You got to patronize him a little to show he's like we say he is, you know. So he comes in late because he's black. It allows you to say that. Now, he's not late because he's black. He's late because no one's willing to crack down on him. Supervisor wouldn't dream of letting a white man get away with that. And to let him get away with it's not fair to those who do earn their bread. Equal opportunity has got to mean equal discipline.
So you go one step further. Reach way around, take people under your wing. Help advise them and mean it, really mean it. But if you play it back, you start to see things you didn't think were there.
Well, if this is supposed to reflect last month's figures, it's not going to do that. I'm gonna have to do this again.
No problem. Leave it with me, I'll finish it. Well, I'm coming back to work late anyway.
Well, I don't think it came out right.
Look, don't worry about it. Whenever a problem like this comes up, don't bother about it. Just let me handle it.
Well, I've been looking it over. I'd like to take another crack at it.
It can get to be a real hassle. They shouldn't do this to you people.
Oh?
Hey, come on. I'll show you where you can get a suit like mine.
No, look, I'm in a hurry. I'm gonna...
Yeah, I'll do these tonight.
Okay, I can handle.
Nobody will ever know the difference.
Champion of the oppressed, defender of the lame and the poor, trying to help the poor black man because of his blackness. He feels he's got to help him overcome that.
Buy him a suit.
Do his work for him.
Run interference.
Yeah, help him across the street. Be a seeing eye dog.
The point is, he doesn't have to help him overcome his being black. He's got to allow him to be it.
How not to be a phony. How to be real. And over 30. Probably everyone's played with the idea of really getting in there and doing it right. Being super cool, being a brother, above suspicion.
What the hell do you call that? Like you know, man, you gotta let go a little.
Just hang loose and tell me what you think the hassle is.
He comes in late, boxes 5 or 6 rounds, smokes a cigar and goes home.
Way out, man, way out.
What? Poetic justice. For years, the man has been taking it out on his hide, wouldn't even spit on him. Now the man gets nervous, says, come on in. And he won't even let on he's been asked. Oh, it is way out, baby. Now you gotta get straight. You either with him or against him, Dick. I mean, he's a little noisy, but you know that's his thing. You got your thing. Me and him, we got no problems. We cool with each other. Well, he's getting paid for it. What do you call that? Reparations, man, reparations.
Go, God. Nice. How you doing, brother? You need anything?
Give me a cigarette.
Ah, there you go. Anybody hassling you?
No, everything's cool, man. Think I'll split.
Mister, I wouldn't let you get away with it.
Some guy's gonna be honkers no matter what you do.
Now that guy, parading like a hippie, I don't trust him at all. You let that fool get away with murder just to prove he's not a honky. He's like a toad crawling around at a black man's feet just to show how broad-minded he is.
Ooh, right on. I don't trust a man who hasn't got respect for himself. Now, the foreman, he wasn't going to play that game. He wasn't concerned whether the black guy could hack it. He wasn't going to let him use being black to think out. No way. But that instant brother, the one with the gas mask, dripping in all that purity, he's the one you got to watch out for.
Judgment. Everything you've ever picked up goes into it. Who'd ever thought I'd have to rethink how to look at a woman?
Yes, that's right. There is such an opening. But I feel that the work is a little...
Oh, I see.
See, normally when we select somebody for this, it's for a long time.
Oh. Then this is a kind of dead-end job.
Oh, no, I didn't say that. But the last thing we want out there is someone who's prone to, well, to pregnancy. Oh, not that I mean you necessarily.
Oh, I'm prone.
Well, there's a lot of travel involved, and there are a lot of men out there. A lot of boozing and a lot of, well, you know,
What?
fooling around.
Oh, really?
You wouldn't enjoy it.
What woman would?
Well, that's it, you see. A woman couldn't really cope with this.
Well, not capable. Must be very important.
It's not really woman's work. It carries with it a lot of authority, and these people need someone who can tell them off, really let them have it in the old kazoo. I don't think you could do that. I just can't picture it.
Just remember who I am.
Oh, boy, Big Daddy shielding the poor, delicate, helpless, misguided girl from that awful, disreputable world out there.
The assumption, of course, is that she couldn't survive in that hard, uncompromising male jungle. An assumption based on the myth of woman's frailty.
It's just a stuffy reflex designed to bolster the male ego. A man who is really secure about himself would be more comfortable than that. He'd be able to sit down and talk with a woman on many different levels and try to determine her value as a potential employee.
For myself, I don't particularly care if he's comfortable or not. He had a long time to get comfortable. Let him be ill at ease. But let him know we want an equal shot at any opportunity, in this world or out.
Judge and be judged. You can dream about it all day. But how does it work in real practice? Well, let's find out.
By and large, minorities like to live much the same way as everyone else does. Nobody likes to be thought of as them. Them are never as intelligent as the rest of us. Them are those others off on the sidelines. Jews, blacks, Chicanos, Indians, Orientals, Puerto Ricans don't like being called them. Any of us would be the first to say, hey, I'm not them, I'm me. Let the minority man say that too, that he's not them, he's him. It then becomes easy to see him as he is, rather than as one of them. There's another word that's just bad news, and that's tolerate. To tolerate means to accept, but reluctantly. It means you're going to agree to put up with it. Putting up with it is not what equal opportunity is all about. What is intended in the Equal Opportunity Program is a commitment to use the same imagination that has kept so many people out to bring them into the system willingly, with dignity and good feeling.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I have an appointment with Mr. Goddard.
Oh, yes, Mr. Goddard is expecting you. His office is right through that door.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Come in. Sit down. Someday I'm gonna get the hell out of this business and run a chicken farm.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Why do you want the job?
Well,
Hello? Well, my God, what are you doing in town? Yeah? Trouble with you people is you got nothing to do. Yeah.
Don't play the game. It's the best known game in town.
Be human. Don't use rules as weapons. Don't hide behind the book. Instead, can you hear the things you're saying? Can you hear what you're feeling? Can you recognize the measurable aspects of the individual?
Have you ever listened to a man to find out what he's scared about, what he knows, what he hopes, what he is? Huh? Have you ever let it touch you?
Don't let a man fail out of the goodness of your heart.
Can you concentrate on finding the right man or woman for a job? Not the white or black man, just the right man.
Can you advise encourage, motivate? Can you train a man and help him to qualify? How about it?
Can we finally get on with it?